Hi, my name is Doug Parker. I'm the host of Cruise Radio, and today we're going to do a walkthrough of Carnival Pride. Before we get to Pride, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content and give the video a like. All right, on the Carnival Pride, she was built in Finland for $375 million. She was launched in 2002. She's 88,500 gross registered tons and carries 2,124 guests. That number is a double occupancy number, so if you fill those third and fourth beds in the stateroom, it's going to be a little bit above that number, probably 2,600 or so. As of 2019, she's sailing 6 to 10-night cruises from Baltimore, Maryland to the Bahamas, Bermuda, and the Caribbean. And this is also a Spirit class ship. So this class of ship was built after the Destiny class, but prior to the Conquest class. The Conquest class, of course, Liberty, Glory, Valor, and Carnival Freedom. There are quite a few staterooms on this ship. In fact, this ship really focuses on balcony cabins. There's 50 suites, 632 balcony cabins, 167 ocean view cabins, 213 interior cabins, and 17 of those cabins across all the categories are accessible cabins if you have a wheelchair, and the wider doors, wider bathroom doors, bigger and larger bathrooms and such. So we're going to start this tour down on Deck 1. Now, normally Deck 1 on every other class of ship is all stateroom. It's the Riviera deck. But on the Spirit class, it's actually staterooms, yeah, they're there. But all the way forward, there's a show lounge called Butterflies Lounge. It's a one-story lounge, and that is like the Punchliner Comedy Club. So if you're used to the other class of ships where the Punchliner Club, the Comedy Club is in the back of the ship, or maybe a little bit forward of aft, like the Carnival Sunshine and other ships like that. This is where the Comedy Club is going to be held at night. So you'll have your, your PG show there, your rated R show, also some karaoke through there. And that's a single-story lounge located all the way forward on Deck 1. Now, just above this lounge is a 3-deck high main lounge. It's called the Taj Mahal. We'll get to that in just a couple of moments. But back to Deck 1 for a moment here. There's 4 main elevators in the forward part of the ship. There's 4 main elevators and glass elevators in the midsection of the ship. And then all the way back of the ship there's 4 elevators back there. That's also where the galley is. And that's another area where this ship is different from other classes of Carnival ships, is there's only one main dining room, and that's located all the way in the back. It's called the Normandy Restaurant. All right, let's now move on to deck number 2. So if you go upstairs from Deck 1, if you're in the Butterflies Lounge, the Punchliner Comedy Club, there's a staircase in the very back part of the lounge that'll take you up to the Taj Mahal area. Taj Mahal on Decks 2, Decks 3, and Decks 4. It's your main show theater, so we're talking about the Playlist production shows being held in here. Also, your Welcome Aboard show. If they're doing a shore excursion talk or a shopping talk, and they want to get a lot of people in here, they'll also hold that here. As well as some other, one-off type stuff, like bingo could be held in here, or a Q&A with the staff captain and the cruise director and the hotel director. So all this happening on Decks 2, Decks 3, and Decks 4 here in the Taj Mahal Lounge. Walking outside of the Taj Mahal and walking towards the back of the ship, so we're walking forward to aft here, you're going to be on the promenade deck, and that's where you're going to come across a couple of things. There's a card room here. It's going to take you right into this area, which is the Piazza Cafe. There's a coffee shop here. And then to your right-hand side is the Red Frog Pub. That's where your beer is, and your Caribbean-type rums, and some live acoustic entertainment at nighttime. Also attached to the Red Frog Pub is the Skybox Sports Bar. This is the sports bar that's attached to the casino. No smoking inside the actual bar here. Outside in the casino, you can smoke, though. But inside the Skybox Sports Bar, there's that 24-hour ticker. There's a ton of TV screens and some little booths and kind of cozy little areas you can sit and watch the game, whatever they're showing. Carnival does have the NFL package, so if you are sailing during football season, chances are you'll see the game that you want to see, unless it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've never seen an actual Jaguars game aired on a ship, but that might not be a bad thing. Leaving the Skybox Sports Bar and heading towards the aft of the ship, we're going to go through the Winner's Luck Club Casino, or the Winner's Club Casino it's called. There's a casino bar in here. Also, a smoking, not too bad. There were the ship was in port when I was on there, but there was a lot of people smoking inside the casino, and it didn't bother me, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Granted, at nighttime or when there's more people in the casino and the slots are actually on, it could get bad. The people I've spoken with said it wasn't too horrible here on Pride. Just outside of the casino, there's a little sitting area, and then it goes into the Bonsai Sushi. The Bonsai Sushi was added on this ship a few years ago when it went through dry dock. And that's the a la carte sushi restaurant. You can get your sushi rolls, your California roll, spicy tuna in here. Also different types of salads and meats here as well. Making your way outside of Bonsai Sushi, you have an elevator bank, as well as that big lobby that Carnival's known for, the Atrium Lobby. Actually, it's called the Renaissance Lobby here on Carnival Pride. And you can look all the way up, and if you look all the way up at the lobby here, you'll be able to stare right into the funnel of the ship, which is pretty cool. Rounding the corner here, we're going to come up to the Alchemy Bar. This is probably one of the largest Alchemy bars at sea, and it's a really nice layout here. As you notice, you're going to have your Alchemy, the actually bar itself here on the right-hand side, and then tons of seating and a piano back on the corner here. So if you want to get yourself a pre-drink or a pre-dinner drink or a post-dinner drink, a good spot to gather right here because the main dining room is just aft of this area. So we're talking like not even a 5-second walk from the Alchemy Bar to the main dining room, which is the Normandy restaurant. As we mentioned a few moments ago, this class of ship only has one main dining room, so you're only going to find the Normandy restaurant, which spans Deck 2 and Deck 3 on Carnival Pride, whereas most, or actually every other class of ship outside of the Spirit class has two main dining rooms. They have a midship dining room, and then they have the aft dining room. This class of ship only has the aft dining room. Anytime dining back here, as well as your set dining time, the, 6 o'clock and 8:15, I think. Also, the chef's table is back here on Deck 2. It's in a little room just between the main dining room and the Alchemy Bar. One thing that I forgot to mention is that there is a dance club, a disco nightclub, whatever you want to call it these days, and it's called Beauty's Dance Club, and it's on Deck 1 and Deck 2 aft. So before you enter the main dining room on Deck 2, it's going to be right there to your right-hand side or starboard side. All right, now we're on Deck 3, and we're walking out of the Normandy restaurant, which is the main dining room. You're going to have 4 elevator banks right here. And then just ahead of the elevator banks, there's a little bar, and it's the Raphael Lounge. And then to the left-hand side of us is going to be the Raphael Conference Room. That's mostly if people are doing like seminars at sea, or if there's big groups of people that are traveling on the ship. They'll hop in that conference room and do their thing instead of having to go and, utilize a public space that guests normally use during the sailing. Also bathrooms out here, and then just forward of that is the photo gallery. The photo gallery spans both the left and right side, or port and starboard side, and the Renaissance Atrium is right here. So you have the Atrium Bar, also you have 4 elevators, and you have those famous glass elevators that Carnival's known for, and those glass elevators will actually take you all the way up to the steakhouse, to the top of the ship. So a nice ride there, because you can take it from pretty much Deck 1 all the way to Deck 12. And I believe that may be about the highest span that the glass elevators do on any Carnival ships. I could be wrong. If I am, please let me know in the comments below. Also a portrait studio here, which is their Dreams photo studio. If you want to do those, make an appointment with a photographer and do kind of glamour shots, you can do that here as well. Walking forward, you're going through the fun shops. The fun shops both on the port and starboard side again. And also Cherry on Top, Carnival specialty shop known for those candies, wines, and sweet treats. One thing I forgot to mention when we were on Deck 2 is Deck 2, right outside of the Red Frog Pub, there's a staircase, and that staircase will take you from Deck 2 to Deck 3, so you can actually come up here from the Red Frog Pub or go down from Deck 3, whatever you want to do. Also an outside area here where you can walk down the side of the ship, and Deck 3, you can actually transit the whole ship, a 360. It's not all open air, some of it is covered, but you can walk around the whole ship on Deck 3. And then if you were to keep walking forward on Deck 3, you'd run into the Taj Mahal Theater. Deck 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all staterooms, so we're going to skip those decks and go right up to Deck 9, and we'll start in the front of the ship, and this is going to be the fitness center and the spa. The fitness center is nice up here because they actually have a whirlpool that anyone can use, so when I first saw this, I thought it was just like a thermal suite, or if you had the thermal pass, you can use this, but anyone, it's like the best kept secret on the ship, or one of them. So are those interior promenades on Deck 3. But if you were to, want to go to the gym or check out the hot tub during the gym hours, you could just hop right in here and enjoy the hot tub. Also up here is Spa Carnival, not quite the Cloud9 Spa yet. You'll have the men and women steam rooms up here. You'll have the beauty salon. Also different areas of the ship that like treatment rooms where you can get massages and such. All right, now we're on the outside of Deck 9, which is the Lido deck. I have to say, another first for me seeing on a Carnival ship, because I've never actually have sailed a Spirit class ship, so this is very new to me, but there are 2 midship pools here on Carnival Pride and on the Spirit class. The forward midship pool is open air, 2 decks, deck 9 and deck 10. And then just beyond this pool is a midship pool that has the what is it called? The dive-in theater, the big movie screen up there. Also around Guy's Burger Joint, Blue Iguana Cantina is there, and it's a retractable roof. So if there's inclement weather, they can actually shut the roof, put a roof over the midship pool. The forward midship pool will still be open and open air, but the one behind here will be covered. And this is not to be confused with the aft pool, because the aft pool is where the Serenity area is on this ship, and we'll get to that in a couple of moments. Walking through the Lido deck, it is Mermaid's Grill Lido Restaurant. That is a mouthful. One cool thing about the Lido deck restaurant on this Spirit class ship is when you're in the middle of the restaurant, you can actually look down and you could into the main atrium. So you can go up, and that's where the steakhouse is right above you, or look down and it goes down 9 decks to the atrium bar, because you're underneath the funnel of this ship, the smokestack. The way the ship was designed was just really cool. You know, they paid a lot of attention back then when they were designing these ships, whereas nowadays it kind of seems like they're just throwing some color patterns together and putting them on the ship. Just taking a look at this ship in the video you're seeing, if you watch closely, there's so much attention to detail on this ship. But anyway, there's a salad bar, the pizza's here, the Chopstick, which is the Asian restaurant, that's here. I say restaurant, a buffet area. Also the Chef's Choices, which like your carving station there. You also have the Carnival Deli, and then just aft of here is where the Serenity deck is. That's the adult-only area, 21 and up. When I first saw the Serenity deck back here, I first thought of like the Carnival Fantasy class ship, because the Serenity deck is in the very back of the Fantasy class ships, but obviously this is much larger. This ship's like 10,000 more tons than a Fantasy class ship. Plus you have an adults-only pool back here, whereas the Fantasy class ships only have the hot tubs. This is so if you're used to the aft pool on other Carnival ships, and it's mostly, they say it's adults only, but normally it's really not. But on this one is like legit adults only, no kids allowed. It's being monitored. There's a bar back here, a lot of clamshells, hot tubs, and I mean, we'll take a couple of moments here just to take a look around and pan around the Serenity area, because if you're a fan of the smaller Carnival ships, I fell in love with this ship when I walked on board. And when I got off the ship, I was like, wow, this ship is awesome. I have got to sail on one of these ships. And this Serenity area is one of the reasons why I'm going to go back to this ship. Right above this deck is the Waterworks. The Waterworks on this ship has a couple of slides. They have that free fall slide called the Green Thunder. And that's the slide where the bottom drops out underneath you. You're not expecting it, and it shoots you down a tube, and you end up at the bottom. So you can actually catch the slide right here above Serenity. Also located on deck 10 is the steakhouse, and it's called David Steakhouse. The statue of David is up there, covered with a fig leaf, because when the ship first launched back in 2002, there was the statue of David, but he was not covered up. If you get my drift here, he didn't have the fig leaf. And people were getting really offended and writing letters and everything to Carnival. So Carnival's like, you know what, screw it, we're going to put a fig leaf on him to shut everybody up. And so there we go. David has a fig leaf covering himself. It's a 2-story steakhouse right underneath the funnel, so a really cool experience too. So when you're dining, you look up and you're looking pretty much into the smokestack or the big funnel on this Carnival ship, the Carnival Pride. The steakhouse, of course, is $38 to dine here. Well worth it, because you get that free bottle of wine on the first night if you dine, and then every other night you get, well, not a free bottle of wine, but a great meal for $38. And the cheesecake is back as of November 2018. Deck 11 forward is the sports deck. That's going to be the mini golf course. You're going to have the jogging track up here, as well as the basketball court and a little area to kind of just walk around and get some pretty cool views of the forward part of the ship. The aft sports deck is going to be the second level of David Steakhouse and an entry point for the water park. And then you'll find some additional seating on the sky deck, which is deck number 12. And that'll about do it of our tour of Carnival Pride. I'll leave you with a couple of things here. One, make sure you stop by Guy's Burger Joint and get a burger, especially on port days where everyone is enjoying the ports. Get you a burger or two, or make it a double or triple patty. You can do whatever you want there. It's your vacation. The hot tub in the gym on deck 9/10, the forward part of the ship. Take advantage of that hot tub there. Not a lot of people were using that whenever I was on board. They do have the hand washing stations at the Lido Deck area, so both on the port and starboard side, just outside of the Blue Iguana Cantina and the Guy's Burger joint. You can use those there to wash your hands before you go into the buffet. And take advantage of those outside pools. There's 2 pools midship and 1 in the aft part of the ship. The 1 pool midship, as I mentioned earlier, does have the option to be covered if there's inclement weather, but otherwise plenty of loungers around the pool, and both the Blue Iguana tequila bar and the Red Frog rum bar divide the 2 pools, so you're never far from a drink, plus you have the servers running around trying to push their fun ship specials on you. And in closing, eat the cake. Plenty of good dessert options here on Carnival Pride, and they're just recently revamping their menu for the dessert, so you got that confetti cheesecake and all that good stuff at the dessert bar. Once again, my name is Doug Parker. I'm the host of the Cruise Radio podcast and the Cruise Radio Daily News Briefs. You can listen to both of those shows wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just type in Cruise Radio or Cruise Radio News. We'd love to have you come be a part of the show. If you like this video and you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe to the channel and give it a like. And if you have any questions about Carnival Pride, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Be happy to answer them. If I can't find the answer, I will find someone who knows the answer and reply to you as soon as I find out. I'm going to leave you with a couple of more minutes of footage here walking around Carnival Pride. Again, my name is Doug Parker. Thank you so much for watching.